Hey guys, it's Meg with Coastal, and as you can see, we are coming to you live from the barn tonight, and we are here for one of our weekly nutrition talks with our great friends from Nutrena. So we have with us tonight Brian from Nutrena. Brian, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I'm Brian. I am with Nutrena. I cover Western Washington and Western Oregon for Coastal and for Nutrena. So I have every one of their stores in my territory with the exception of Yakima and Wenatchee. But everybody else, y'all are mine.
Awesome, awesome. As you can see here, we also have a special guest. We've got Bree hanging out with us tonight because we are going to talk about top lines and body condition and how to feed to improve both of them. So I'm really excited to talk about this. I think, we all know that nutrition and kind of the overall look of your horse really starts from the inside and shows from the inside out. So, Brian, let's go ahead and just talk about a couple scenarios.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. All right. So say we have a horse that has a great body condition, but is lacking a little bit in the top line, just kind of what we would like to see overall. Can you tell us a little bit about how you would feed to maybe improve that top line?
Yes, absolutely. So there is this old train of thought that the only way you're ever going to get a top line is through exercise and exercise alone. Well, it's coming into winter, the rains are coming, the snow is coming. It's hard to exercise, and we still could want to get that top line. So you're going to want to adjust their feed accordingly. So you're going to want to feed a very, very high protein feed that's fortified with all of its proper amino acids. And that is this guy here. So this is Nutrena Topline Balance, and it has all of the protein that you would need, all of your vitamins and minerals. It's everything that you would need to feed a horse in one little pellet. It's like a big multivitamin for the horses, and so that will really improve the entire top line area of your horse, just because that protein gets metabolized and forms muscle right along that top line and gives you great round rump like you're seeing here on Bree. So really, really great here to get your top line.
And the other awesome thing about this feed is that it's not super high in calories, correct?
Right. So if you ever have a super easy keeper and you don't want to feed a whole lot of calories.
Just like mine.
Yes. So this would be your low calorie feed. They used to be referred to as diet balancers because they're low calorie, and they cut out the diet because who likes diets? No one. So now they're just balancers. But this is our balancer. So everything you need, very small amount. You're looking at a pound to a pound and a half per day per horse. So one bag typically will last you greater than a month, which is an awesome feed, like
Awesome.
Economically, that's great.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Now, let's go ahead and switch the scenario.
Okay.
So, say maybe we have a great top line on a horse, but body condition just needs a little bit of improvement. Would you still feed this feed, or would you switch to something a little bit different?
So I would do a little bit of both. So I would still feed this feed to keep that top line where you want it, right? Because that's beautiful. But then you're lacking calories. So calories are important. There are energy, there are fat stores, there are everything. And that's when this preg right there comes in handy. So that is our high fat supplement. It's rice bran and flax. It's beautiful little extruded pellets that is going to give you all of the calories that you need. And you start feeding that at a pretty low rate. You're going to want like a quarter pound to half a pound a day, and watch and make sure everything's going well. If you go too strong all at once, you can end up with some really gross stools, and then you have to bring it back down. But if you're looking for those calories, that's the way to add them.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, let's do another scenario here. Say you have a horse that is primarily just out on pasture.
Okay.
Is there one of these feeds that could really get them all those extra nutrients, maybe make up for some things that they're lacking if they're just out on pasture?
That's a wonderful question. And we have a lot of people in the Washington, Oregon area that have great pastures. So you just kind of leave them out there and they look good, right?
And they love it.
They're happy, we're happy, but we're not sure exactly what they're missing. So without getting your pasture sampled, you don't know what all of those nutrients and micronutrients in your pasture are. And that's where, again, this Topline balance comes in handy, because it's taking care of all of those nutrients, those micronutrients, all in that pound to pound and a half a day, which you can feed as your schedule likes. If you only go out to that barn once a day, because that's what you have the time to do, you can feed a pound and a half in one feeding, and that's fine. If you're going out there twice, you can break it up, like whatever works for that schedule. But this is gonna fill in any gaps that your forage could be leading. And like selenium in Washington, Oregon, very big deal, and this has you covered. So
Awesome.
Good to go.
Good to go. I love it. Now, is there a certain age that you would start feeding this? You know, if someone's bringing up a young horse, do they need to wait until any certain age to feed it?
So I wouldn't start feeding this until you're weaning off of that mare and foal. So mare and foal is designed to be fed up until 2 years of age. And then once you start weaning off of that, that's when this would come in. And then you would play with calories with the boost to make sure that you're getting the proper body condition that you want out of it. Because body condition is very relative depending on what sport you're playing and what you're doing. Because if you're performing in dressage, you want that big body, that super fat shine. If you're reining, you want a very different horse. So
Exactly.
Body condition is relative. So you would play with the calories as to what you are looking for.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now we're going into winter, and
Yes.
going into the winter months, you know, especially with this crazy year that we've had, that 2020 has been, as we're going into winter, she wants to make sure that we don't forget she's right here.
Yeah, Bree is like, I'm here. Someone pay attention.
She's here.
I need treats.
Exactly. She sees the groceries here.
Yeah.
As we're going into winter, is there anything that people should be paying specific attention to?
Yes. So going into winter, you know, every winter you're going to drop a little weight. You're going to drop a little body condition. Make sure you're taking your blankets off regularly if you blanket those horses, to see what's happening underneath, because I can't count the amount of phone calls I get come spring where people have taken that blanket off and they're like, my horse is nothing now. Like, it's lost all of its weight. So make sure you're taking those off regularly. And if you want to add on a little more calories going into winter to like prepare for that, that's where this boost would come in. Again, like half a pound a day to start, add some extra calories that they weren't getting. It tastes really good. They get really excited about it. Plus it just gives them a little extra winter fluff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. If you guys have any questions about transitioning your horse as we transition from this fall period into winter, or any of these products, please feel free to go ahead and write those questions in the comments. We go ahead and monitor them, get back to you. If you have any specific questions that are feed related at all, Brian and the team at Nutrena are fantastic at getting answers out to you guys, helping you kind of problem solve if there's any specific questions or issues that you're up against. They're just overall fantastic about helping out. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah,
That's
well,
a lot of praise.
well,
a lot of praise.
Well, we can't thank you enough. We really appreciate you spending the time coming out and enjoy talking with you about all these
Yeah.
things.
I'm excited for people to try them.
I am excited as well. Don't forget, you can get these bags of Empower at your local coastal stores. And we're excited to hear about you trying them out. So if you have a horse that you're looking to maybe improve the top line or improve your body condition, we want to know. Go ahead, maybe drop your photos in the comments. We would love to see those as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Everyone who is watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us as well. And we will see you next time.